right, guys, welcome to another great episode of the Neverland Podcast, man. Today, super dope guest on. We got Chaz on. Chaz,
Yes,
thank you so much for
sir.
coming on, bro.
Yo, thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Real quick backstory for those of you guys who don't know, Chaz, is an artist. You can check him out on Twitter, Instagram, all that's obviously linked in the bio. So go check him out on that. But Chaz, the first question we always ask our guests: your top five musical artists of all time.
Top five? Damn, yo, that's wow. That's like it's crazy because I don't just sit and think about like who's my top five, but honestly, just I guess just off rip, I would probably say, to me at least, I think Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, J. Cole, and Kendrick. That's probably my top five.
That top five is crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
For sure. Like, I think, you definitely got to put, like, a lot of people have that debate where they say, like, who's better, Tupac or Biggie? I think, Tupac, he painted pictures a little better than Biggie did. That's why I kind of put him over him. And then Jay-Z, he's kind of in the middle. Some people got Nas as they 4 or they 3. You know what I mean? So, but honestly, like Nas is cool. I think because I haven't really listened to a lot of Nas, he's not in my top 5. So it's a little different. So that's literally my top 5 right there.
Yeah, there's always that Nas versus Jay-Z fight that everyone has on the internet. So,
I mean, for me personally, I put Hove over Nas.
Hove.
And then same, I think I'll put Pac over Biggie just because, I mean, for me personally, I just enjoy West Coast music more. I like growing up the Midwest. I think we just had a bit more West Coast flair. But
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man. But now go into your work. How does music ever play a role in your art? Because obviously you draw, for those of you guys who don't know, you do draw like a bunch of animations or like cover arts of like popular albums, or you put your own twist on it. So you obviously get like inspiration from music, but how much does it inspire you?
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot. I think, I grew up listening to music. Like in my household, my parents, they always used to play like, Biggie Smalls and like different rappers like that, Jay-Z. They just play a lot of music. My brother does music, real successful rapper. He's on the come up right now. So I think music is a big part of me, and I'm really influenced by it. I work with a couple artists from Jersey, like where I'm from. So I think definitely like music plays a huge role in my art. Because, I might see, especially like, not just the music, but, I guess, the people, like I kind of view a lot of things as art, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe a certain artist, like cover art, for example, like, Travis Scott, Jay-Z, like those iconic covers, I try to recreate it in my own style. Or like different iconic pictures from musicians and stuff. I try to like recreate that because I feel like that's something that's dope. That's something that people like, and I try to just put my spin to it. But I mean, I love music, man. It's just it definitely changes lives. It's positive. Like everything about it is great. Man.
Yeah.
So when you create like your art and like your own style. I guess there's a lot of like different interpretations on art. Like, do you want someone to like actually think about like what you created when they look at it, or do you want them to like more like just look at it and like kind of feel out what's going on?
I think a little bit of both. Art is, I could draw a picture of. I can have a white background and draw a picture of a red circle. I mean, you can either think that's what the Japanese flag, or you could think, like that could be the first thing that comes to your mind. Or you could think, oh man, red symbolizes you know, negativity, and around it, the white could be like light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's all under interpretation. You know what I mean? So everybody has their own. Yeah, like everybody got their own perspectives of how they view art. You know, so what I usually do is I make something, and obviously it might come from like influenced by music. It might be an idea I had. I just put it down, and I like when people, you know, view it, because everybody has a different perspective. You know, they hit me up and say, yo, good work. They like your work. You know, it's the simple fact that, you know, obviously my style is different, and the fact that people appreciate it, like, that shit is amazing. You feel me? It's great. So, you know, honestly, long story short, like, I think people, it's all under interpretation. Like, it's all about how you think. And I don't make art with the certain intention of like, this is what I want you to think. I make it where it's like, I want you to think many different things about it. However it resonates with you, that's important right there. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I want, because I know that, like, I guess in other forms of art, like storytelling and even music, they, like, the artist kind of wants you to feel a certain way, or like the storyteller wants you to feel that certain thing. But I guess in like kind of pure art, like in what you're creating and drawings, animations, and things like this, it's like, it's just up to like what that person thinks of it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, and also I think when you draw it, I'm sure you probably just draw it a certain way you see it. So like I know recently you put out the J. Cole, the Puma ad.
Yeah, man.
I forget what it's called. It starts to cover something.
It was his
or off season?
The off season, photo shoot that he did for his, I think he's about to drop a project, so he kind of did that photo shoot so he could tease it. And I was like, that shit is dope, it's art. You know, I'm about to create my style. Not only that, but I feel like this shit will go crazy and get a lot of, you know, exposure and go viral. You know, it's something that just happened. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna turn this into art. Let's see what happens. I thought it was cool. And, you know, it did its thing. And it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. So
dang,
that's sick. That's sick.
Yeah, and you know,
even
I kind of seen it.
Hell yeah, man. And even like things like the Birds in the Trap that you did.
Yeah.
Like with that, how much are you influenced by the actual cover? And then how much of it is like you just listening to the music and being like, this is kind of what I see as a cover, and doing it that way?
So like, I like Travis Scott. Like, I really like Travis. I think Travis is one of my most, you know, I guess, you know, one of the dopest artists in this generation that I like listen to, you know, and that I like. So I was like, you know, a lot of people like Travis. I like Travis. You know, I want to recreate an image based on, like, influenced by the Birds in the Trap cover. You know, that's what I was thinking when I made it. I was like, all right, let me do my style. I'm looking at the cover, you know, obviously it got the, you know, the wings on his back like that. So I'm like, you know, let me put some elements in it, stuff like that, make it my own style, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like my art, like I could make it simple, but make it dope at the same time.
Right.
Or like, you know, put a lot of things in it, you know? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just, you know, I don't know. You know, I just seen the cover and I got influenced by it. Also, too, like when I make these covers, like that one, for example, I listen to their music so I can get a vibe like that.
Right.
You know,
right.
So
yeah,
that's dope.
I think that's important too.
Facts.
That's sick. Yeah. So like when it comes to like when you create, like how does that process start? Is it like you listen to the music, you look at like the album work, and like kind of you just feel it out and then just go from there? Or do you kind of have to put yourself in like the right mindset before you start creating?
Honestly, I think of the album, or I think of the song that I'm doing. Like, this goes whether it's a, major artists. It's people that I know. Like if I'm doing a cover art for somebody that's an artist, what I do is I basically like, well, if it's like all right, so I'll just use, for example, the Travis Scott thing, right? So I think about the cover art, I listen to the music, and while I'm listening to the music, I kind of, because basically I'm just recreating the cover. So I just listen to the music. It kind of helps me, get in that vibe to create the cover. And I just look at the cover, and then I just come with ideas in my head and just put it down. Like it's it's hard to explain, but like, the way it's weird.
It just comes to you. It just comes to you.
It just happens. Yeah. Like,
you go with the flow. Facts.
Yeah, exactly. So
facts. So why did you even like started thinking of doing this? Was this again also you were like, hey, this will be a kind of dope thing to do? And you're like, let me just do it. And if so, like what was that first piece that inspired you to even do it?
Well, I see a lot of artists on like Instagram, putting out their art. They do, sometimes they make art influenced by like artists, well, like rappers and like different celebrities and stuff. They put out art like that, and then they just make, their own art. So I think for me, seeing people on Instagram, like other artists on Instagram, put out their work, like that, like similar to mine, I was like, I could do this too. I could do it as well. So, I felt like, it's time to at least start, put something out.
Yeah.
Whether it blows up or not, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think, for me, the important thing is just having content out, putting that content out,
Yeah. And
just being consistent. And just seeing what happens. Yeah. So, and the reason why I chose the rappers, one, because I love music. And then I think a lot of people love music. So if you're recreating a cover or anything like that, and you do it well, and you do it with your style, I think it's going to get a lot of attention,
Yeah, facts.
People have never seen, stuff like that. So,
yeah.
It's just dope.
That's it.
Man.
That's dope. But did you like first just start out drawing like just random stuff and then gradually moving on to rap, or was it just like it's just like the first thing you connected with?
Right. So I did start drawing like, random designs, because actually last year, I kind of was trying to put out, art piece every day, and basically it was just, like ideas I had, I just drew them out. Like I had some dope, like I think one drawing was like a bear with like some type of clothing he was wearing, just like pieces, just ideas that you got, you draw them out, you put them on the paper. So I was it's just content, it's content for people, it's content for myself. Just being consistent, you putting something out every day. I was doing that last year, and I kind of wasn't really consistent. I was on and off, COVID was going on. Like obviously it's still going on, but COVID was, to me, it was a lot worse.
It was brand new.
It was just getting introduced, you know what I mean? So everybody had their, form of, I guess you could say, depression, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to adjust. Yeah, you just trying to get through, adjust, trying to figure it out, taking it day by day. So I think that obviously it affected everybody, and that affected me too, with, putting stuff out. I kind of was focused on different things, but now since it's a new year, I just told myself like, you got to be consistent. You got to just trust the process, have a vision. And I think that's one of my biggest, I guess you could say mantra for this year, and saying, trust the process, like when I put out that J. Cole piece, I put it out, and in my head, I was just like, yo, this is about to do numbers. And it did. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, I just said to myself, this shit about to do numbers. And it just started blowing up.
Facts.
So when was the point where you knew you were like, yo, I got like the talent to do this? You know what I'm saying? Like when did that click in your head versus like, I don't think I'm ready to like put my stuff out there?
I think I was always putting my art out there. Like I've been doing what I've been doing for probably like 4 years now. And I always like I used to make a lot of cover art. You know, I still do commissions and stuff like that. But you know, I guess you could say starting in 2018, I was doing cover art, you know, different graphics for people. So I've been putting things out. But I think this year, like as you guys were saying, I think this year is getting a lot of exposure. Like I think this year people are finally seeing it and appreciating it, because back then I feel like I kind of wasn't, I was putting my art out, but I wasn't really doing it because I appreciated it and loved it.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm recently finding that passion for it again. Cause I used to just, I'm talking about, I'll be staying up sometimes like 11, 12, just making stuff. Like right now I'm making something, you know what I mean? So and obviously you need to take breaks, but you know, I feel like I like it more as compared to, you know, in the past, I was kind of just doing it, you know, just to get some money, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like whatever you do.
Passionate about it.
Yeah. I wasn't as passionate. Like whatever you do, whether you're a rapper, whatever craft you gotta love it, man. Because if you don't love it, it's not really worth doing it.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts. That was a bar.
Just to say the least. Yeah, like, you know.
You know, 100%.
No, I agree.
Like, also, I wanted to ask you this. Like, what would you say is the ratio for the number of pieces you actually put out versus the amount of pieces you actually make? Because I'm sure you have a bunch in the vault somewhere that, like, I'm probably never going to see any social media. But it's like, how do you, because you're literally working on something right now, so it's like you like is it like daily you're just making something and something you just genuinely appreciate, you're like, hey, let me just put this out, or other times it's like, hey, this is just for me?
I think it depends. Like when I create stuff, like I got a drawing pad, so I draw a lot of this stuff on there, you know, whether it's commissions, whether it's ideas I come up with, dope stuff, like whatever. And I think a lot of like some of it, you know, if I choose to put it out, then I'm gonna turn it into a graphic. But if not, then I'm gonna just leave it there, whatever. If I don't turn it into a graphic, I mean, it is what it is, you know? So I think, you know, a lot of this stuff, like the majority of the things I draw, I do put out, you know?
Okay.
So.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Nah, just to long story short, the majority of the things I draw, I do put out, you know. That was the question, right? Yeah, like, you know.
Facts. Dang, yeah. So like I know you said like commission. Is there like a certain type of, even like a certain type of thing you would draw for them? Like, is there ever a point where you're like, hey, I'm not trying to draw that right now? Like, or is it always like something you would enjoy drawing?
Right. So I think in the past, like if I had a commission, I would be like, you know, I don't really, like I might reject some things that some people might want me to do for them because I might have felt like, you know, I wasn't just, you know, really prepared for it. You know, as like, you know, I guess nowadays, like this year, I'm like, you know what? I want to try different things. If they like, yo, can you do this? Can you do that? I'm going to try it in my style. I'm going to try it in a different style because I feel like challenging yourself to do different things, you know, that's important.
Right.
So.
Right.
Dang, 100%.
Facts.
Got you. So like, yeah. So when do you like want to only focus your art on like the kind of music and like kind of related to that area, or do you eventually like kind of want to branch out and just do like random whatever you're interested in at the time and just like kind of put that out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit of both, because I feel like, you know, doing the music stuff, like making art influence from music is cool,
Yeah.
But I don't think that's not the only thing I want to be known by, Like if I do a music influenced art piece, that's just because I love that body of work and I want to make that in the moment. But I think, like I said, that's not going to define me. And it's important to, put out your own ideas and your own art that's unique, people haven't seen. So they know, like, this is dope. I want to rock with you because of this. I want to get this print that you made because, it's cool to make art of. Like you got to be original. It's cool to make art of like J. Cole and Jay-Z and everything else, but they see this different thing. They're like, damn, like that's cool,
Yeah.
It's just about being different, and I don't think anybody should box themselves into one set thing. They kind of got to be themselves and be original.
Facts. Right. How easy is it to make your own original stuff up versus trying to twist someone else's work?
Well, it's really easy, Honestly, a lot of people struggle with, trying to make original content, with anything, music. But in terms of art, I think it's easy to make original content because you can see something on TV or you can hear something in music and run with that idea and just, expand on it. Facts. You know what I mean? Like you could, or like, so basically if you create anything, you basically get your influences from, things that you've seen outside or things that you expose yourself to. So all day, if you listening to, I don't know, Drake or you chilling or whatever you expose yourself to, you get influenced to, and then that manifests through your art.
Yeah.
Or whatever you could think about, it kind of just manifests in whoever you're influenced by. And I think in terms of art, like my influences got to be like Basquiat, Picasso, you know what I mean? With a little bit of like my own style. So I'm influenced by that.
Yeah.
And different art pieces. Yeah. Like I like that.
Yeah.
Like Basquiat, he had this grungy style, this chalky style.
Simplistic, but it says a lot.
Like, it says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of rock with that. So I'm like, hey man, I fuck with that. Obviously, I'm not trying to be like that, but like I said, whatever you get influenced by, that's kind of how you create stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like how rappers, they rap about their experiences. I mean, they're exposed to something, and then they turn it into art. That's really it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you put some creativity to it. So
yeah. Thanks. So yeah, you were talking about like kind of consistency, like putting out, and then kind of once you took it seriously and became consistent, you kind of started blowing up. Like, what would you say was the hardest part of like going from, all right, I'm not too into this, like I'm just kind of doing it as a side thing, versus, okay, now I'm doing this as my main thing. I'm passionate about this. Like, what was the hardest part about like that transition for you?
I don't think it wasn't necessarily hard, but I think what I had to really realize was that, I think this is my calling, and whether you take a break from something, for a while, however long you take a break for something, you're going to always have that gut feeling in you that's telling you to go back to it, So I think even when I stopped doing it, I had that feeling like, inside of me, and I was like, yo, you got to go back and do this. Like, you just feel that feeling. Like, I feel like I should be putting art out. I feel like I should be creating and expressing what I do. So I think I felt like that. And then, you never want to let your talents go to waste. What's the point on having all these specialties and talents if you just, you're not utilizing them? So I'm like, I had that realization at the beginning of this year, like on New Year's, I was like, it's either I do it now or I just don't do it at all, and I just, find something else to do, get a regular job. Like, obviously, whatever craft that you do, the money is gonna come. But I'm not worried about that, because if you're working, if you got a plan, if you just passionate and you work hard and you focus, I mean, the money gonna come.
Facts.
100%.
Yeah, man. I think that's legit. If you're going into any type of art, I think that's the biggest key. You have to genuinely be passionate about it and love it.
You gotta feel it.
Because there's like so many millions of podcasters, millions of rappers, millions of artists, millions of like any like creative job you could think of. There's millions of them. So it's like you have to be consistent and like be like, hey, this is great work that I'm putting out consistently over a long period of time. That's lit. Like then people have to notice, I feel like.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, man. You gotta be consistent, but you gotta also, love what you do.
Right. Straight up.
For real.
Straight up. Dang. So how long would you say it takes you to make one piece?
I mean, it depends really. Like, I think the J. Cole thing, I'm not gonna lie, like, I made the sketch the day before, and then that day I kind of, colored it in, did all that graphic design work, and then posted it. So, I mean, it varies. It depends on, how I want it to be. It could be, it could take 30 minutes. It could take a few hours. It could take a few days. It depends on, I guess it just depends on how complex I want it to be,
Right.
Like the J. Cole thing, it's very simple, but it's influenced by the photo shoot, and it's just dope, on how it looks. So, I gotta personally feel like it's finished for, however long it takes,
Right. Dang. Do you mostly just do digital drawings, or does that?
Yeah.
Okay. Mostly digital.
I do like so what I do, like, I draw it on the pad first, like on the with the paper and stuff like that, and then I turn it into a digital drawing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I really do.
Yeah.
Sure.
But like, to answer your question, I mainly just do digital for the most part. I should do some paintings though. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you initially got it, like started drawing, like did you just kind of pick up drawing yourself and like was sketching in your notebooks in school and like just messing around? And then did you ever like take a class and then like actually kind of get good? Or was it just you tinkered around and like got, like accrued talent over time?
I think, well, I think when I was young, I used to draw a lot. Like, probably when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I used to make a lot of comics, I would make my own comics and stuff, which were really dope. I used to draw my own, cartoon characters and stuff like that. So I think, since a youngin', like, I'm trying to remember when I really, really started drawing, like taking it, like doing a lot of it, probably like 2nd, 3rd grade, man. But I probably drew a lot of stuff before, like when you in kindergarten, you coloring and stuff like that. But I think 3rd, 4th grade was like when I really started, getting into it and like doing, like drawing different things like that. And now in high school, I took this art class with my teacher. And, one of the dopest teachers that I've had, she's like really dope with art and, taught us different styles and things like that. So to this day, I appreciate her, for that. I'm not really going to say her name because, I don't know if she want her business
no
out
problem.
there. But I mean, she knows who she is, dope teacher. She taught us a lot about art, and I really appreciate that. Like from how to draw, realistic designs, from shading, just the basics. And like, with everything that we've learned, we kind of started creating our own dope things based on the different mediums and stuff like that. So that art class kind of, pushed me even more to do art. Cause it's like, damn, like you could really do a lot with it. It's made different forms of art. Anything is art. So it's like, it's crazy, man. It's layers to it. It's levels to it as well. So.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, so,
yeah. So like,
art is deep, bro.
Yeah, no, facts. So you said you mostly focus on digital art. So was it mainly just because this is like the easiest way to do it for you at the time, and you were like, hey, let me just get good at this, or was it just like I just enjoy drawing on like a screen rather than anything else?
Yeah, so it's like, I'm not gonna say weird, but it's interesting how it happened, because I think, like I said, I've been doing it for 4 years. So I guess 3 years ago, when I was a sophomore in college, I kind of was like, I do photography and videos as well.
Right.
But I'm like, because that's my major, media and film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, I like art. How can I put this art? Like, I wonder if I could recreate this art digitally. And then I'm like, all right, you can. It's called graphic design. You know what I'm saying? So I first started off making like cover art for people, and I still do make cover art. So that's a medium in itself. That's its own style.
Right. I
feel like I haven't really mastered cover art, but I'm real experienced at it. I'm like, damn, I want to do something else. I want to see if I could I want to see if I could draw on a computer and this looked real similar to me drawing on the paper. And then it turns out it happened. It did. I seen people drawing. I'm like, I could do the same thing. So, I figured it out. I figured out how to draw on a computer, and I'm like, damn, it's only up from here. We just getting started. So once I figured that out, I'm like, damn, I'm drawing this, I'm drawing that. This shit is dope. And honestly, you need, and it's crazy. Like, from where I started to where I am now, like I used to draw using a mouse, the touchpad mouse, and just lining up. Right. It's crazy, but now I got a pad and a pen, so it's a lot easier, and it's crazy, man. It's just blows my mind that you could draw on a tablet. Like, this shit's crazy, man. Like, for the graphic design thing, I thought it was only like, graphics, but now you can do so much with it.
Right. So, I mean, it's so easily accessible now. Like, high schoolers are getting iPads. Like, we got iPads in high school. So it's like,
I just got an iPad recently. I've been using Procreate. Like, I love that. I love that. Like, I used to draw a lot when I was younger. But like, basically I stopped for like years. I didn't really draw since like 6th grade. But then I picked it up back recently, and I've been loving it. It's like, it's crazy cool and powerful, like how these different softwares work and stuff like this.
Yeah,
not for sure. I think drawing is, like you said, is dope, and that's dope how you got back into it. Like, drawing to me is like, it's cool how you could create your own ideas, but it's also like therapeutic. At the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's calming, Yeah. Just like working out. Like, I work out too. So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I'll just like randomly just open a Procreate at night and just be like, let's just see what I come up with today.
Yeah,
obviously my great, one's kind of trash. It's more like doodles, but
Hey man, you still making something at the end of the day.
It's not as crazy as what Chaz does, but like it's definitely fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Definitely fun.
Exactly.
No,
exactly. So I mean, that's also a huge thing for you. Like, what was it that kind of made you always draw? Like, you said, like, literally since kindergarten you've been drawing. So like, what was it that like you were never, I guess, got distracted by anything else? You never really tried to do anything else. Like, drawing was always in your life. So was it Was it just like naturally it just so happened to be there? Like before you were saying that like it's kind of what you're almost born to do. So is that how you view it? Or is it just like you kind of just force yourself to draw?
Yeah, I mean, I think at a young, like ever since I was young, you know, I always created different things. Like I used to make, you know, different things out of foil. Like I made a foil sword, like different things like that. I used to draw a lot, obviously, you know, and just kind of be like I'm curious, you know, a curious dude. So I try to, you know, look for different things, understand different things like that. You know,
just see how stuff works.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, just growing up, I used to like just create a lot of stuff, you know, like, and this is like, I think I'm just a creator. Like, I'm a creator, you know, like I said, like I draw, you know, photography and videos, but through those three different avenues, like I want to create something different and, you know, tell it through my lens, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. So
yeah.
Got you.
But like I think, you know, like I don't know. It's hard to really explain it, but I just always had this urge to just make stuff, you know, and just make my own style. Cause I think I get it from, you know, my uncle, you know, he you know, he passed away, R.I.P. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the GOAT right there. But he was an artist, you know, and he, you know, things like that passed down, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
A lot of my family, a lot of people in my family, you know, create stuff. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they got different mediums and stuff. So we all creative. So I think, you know, that's just where it comes from.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you're, you know, like you just picked it up like as you were just around him, you know, more and more. And you're like, yo, like, let me try this myself. And you just got into it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure like you were saying before too, like your brother's a rapper. And like you're obviously an artist. So I'm sure like there's definitely genetics.
It runs in the family. It runs in the family.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure, man. Exactly. Definitely.
Dang, bro. I think we could just wrap it up with this last question. What's on your playlist? Like when you're drawing, what are you listening to? Or is that different? So when you're drawing, is that music different than like you're just hanging out or you're in the car? Or is it usually just like the same playlist?
I listen to anything really. Like if I'm drawing, like, but what I recently listened to, like I like a lot of, I guess, like old music, like 90s music, 80s music. So I might have some 80s on, depending on the vibe. If I just want to chill, get it done, I might listen to, you know, Travis Scott, Drake, like that. So
yeah,
you know, I listen to everything for the most part.
Yeah, that's dope.
Nice. Yeah,
that's dope. Yeah. And then you would say even in the car or something, just same kind of rotation.
Yeah, same thing in the car. Yeah, like I just listen to, you know, everything and anything. Really.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope, man.
That's sick.
Dang. Yeah.
All right.
Is there anything else?
Yeah. Do you want to shout out anything, Chaz?
Yeah. You have anything?
Anything coming up?
Talk about?
Any sneak peeks?
Yeah.
Well, like coming up, I think, you know, I got a lot coming up. You know, I got Prince. I got what else? I'm trying to have some merch. You know, sooner or later.
Yeah.
I want to put out Prince like by the end of this month and next month.
Dope.
Nice.
And then merch, I think, you know, merch is coming as well. I'm gonna have merch out this year, you know, in due time. Just taking it day by day. Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, you guys heard it here first, man. Definitely go check them out on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. That's probably the best way to go, right? Best place to go is your socials.
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram at ChaztheRealest. You know, check me out on all that. You know. And I just appreciate y'all for having me on the show. This is like my first interview ever. So.
Yeah, bro. This is super dope. This was
had
different.
Fun. Had fun. Yeah.
Nah, it's different, man. I'm not really used to talking. like I guess on camera like that. Like
True.
you know what I'm saying? So this is like the
True.
first time, you know, like I'm usually behind the camera. You know, I'm not really used to talking on it.
Dude, I feel that. I feel that.
It's
man.
different.
Hell yeah.
But so I appreciate y'all. Like I appreciate y'all for just giving me the platform. Like, you know, and I feel like, you know, a platform like this, when it comes to an interview, you know, you kind of just gotta be real. Like I like being real. Facts. I know I was probably rambling a lot, but I'm tired at the same time. You know, if y'all would have caught me at like, if y'all would have caught me at like 6 o'clock, you know, but I feel it. Like I'm getting tired. So that's really it. No I appreciate y'all for giving me the platform, bro. For real.
Hell yeah.
Dude, glad to have you on. Man.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming on too. But yeah, guys, that's another episode of the Neverland Podcast. As always, be sure to check me, Paris, out. Our socials are in the bio. Chaz's socials are in the bio as well. Be sure to go check them out on that. And with that, we out. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.